So the saga of Disney Star Wars is going to be coming to a close very soon. That's right, the Rise of Skywalker, which looks like it's going to be a big giant cluster. Oh, I'm going to try not to swear as much. I've been swearing too much in my videos. Alright. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be terrible. And unfortunately, I'm going to watch it. I have going to the midnight screening, Australia time, and I'm purely going out of curiosity. I didn't want to have to give money to Lucasfilm at all, but I'm biting the bullet and I'm going purely out of curiosity to see what a giant shit show it's going to be, because it looks like the fact that they brought Palpatine back is a heinous crime. Honestly, by doing that, they have completely invalidated the entire story arc of the first 6 movies. And if that's not bad enough, they insult you for not liking that. They insult you for not liking their stupid characters that they've come up with. And I'm not shitting on the actors. The actors have done as good as they can with the subpar material they've been given to work with. But as far as memorable, you know, characters that are endearing, it's just non-existent in this saga. The Disney saga is just boring, bland, and just I feel nothing for it. And it's coming to a close, and I have no excitement at all. I just am curious to see how bad it can be. Like how, just based on the trailers, it looks like the biggest panda job of all time. Like they have, hey, they're like, hey fan, look, we can fit 1,000 Star Destroyers on the screen all at once. Does that impress you? Does that make you like us again? You know? Does that make you forget about the fact that Luke took that sacred lightsaber that belonged to his father and just tossed it over his shoulder like it meant nothing? Does that forgive us if we put 1,000 Star Destroyers on the screen all at once? And if we bring Palpatine back, you know him, you remember him, don't you? Palpatine, the Emperor. If we just forget that Vader killed him and we bring him back and we say that he was, what, Snoke as well? Isn't that what the latest trailer insinuates? That Snoke was a vessel for him somehow? That's also so stupid as well. They invalidate the villain from the first 2 movies, and they invalidate like I said before, the entire story arc. All that sacrifice that the original characters did, and the entire story arc of Anakin. The whole payoff was the fact that he redeemed himself by the end of the 6th movie by killing, you know, Satan incarnate, Palpatine, his puppet master. He regained and retook control of his life and chose to do the righteous thing by sacrificing himself to save not just his son, but the galaxy by killing the evil puppet master, Palpatine. But now, Lucasfilm, Disney, they're telling us that that meant nothing. The Emperor just flew down that shaft and then, I don't know, what did he get in a ship and fly the fuck away? Sorry, try not to swear. Well, he just escaped. He escaped the exploding Death Star somehow. And no one noticed, even though there was, what, a whole armada of ships around watching the Death Star explode. No one noticed the Emperor flying away. Or maybe he did a layer and flew through space. I guess, you know, that is a force power now. Thanks to The Last Jedi now, that's in the lore. Look, I don't consider The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi to be canon, or this movie. But, you know what? This disaster is going to be epic. The Last Jedi is going to be an epic failure. Now, I don't know if it's going to tank at the box office. I doubt it will. All right, it's going to make a lot of money. It is going to underperform, though. That's my prediction. You know, the third movie in a saga, a hotly anticipated one, like they would have us believe in the media, the third movie should make more money than all of them. Return of the King made the most money in the Lord of the Rings saga. I got to I don't think Return of the Jedi made more than the original film. I'm not sure. It would have in merchandise, for sure. But as we know, this, sequel trilogy, in terms of merchandise, it's tanking hardcore. The shelves are sitting, firstly they have a tiny section of Star Wars toys now, when you'd think they'd have a huge one if it was really popular. They have a tiny section, and even then, the stock's just sitting there. No one's buying it. But you'd think, in this modern age, that with all the hype building, and if everyone was loving this saga, that the third movie would make more than the first two. So this film has to make over $2 billion to beat The Force Awakens. No way this will make $2 billion. Not a chance. I don't even think it'll make more than The Last Jedi, which was, what, 1.3 billion? I know it's a big call, but I think it'll make less than 1.3 billion. I could be wrong. I was wrong about Captain Marvel. I thought that would tank, but it didn't. I didn't foresee the power of the Marvel stamp on that movie. So we'll see if the Star Wars stamp alone is enough to get this over the mark. I don't think it will, because in terms of Captain Marvel, the Marvel brand still held a lot of fan loyalty. The fans hadn't been betrayed by Marvel yet. And I'm saying that as someone who's not a huge Marvel fan. But I could just tell Marvel was still a beloved franchise. So when Captain Marvel came out, people were willing to give it a shot, despite the negative press. In terms of Star Wars, these fans have been browbeaten and bloody whipped into submission by Lucasfilm. A lot of the diehard fans. And they've learnt their lessons after The Last Jedi. And after the way they've been spoken about by the filmmakers, by some of the actors, not all, but some of the actors have shit on the fans too, and the executives and the media. And so the Star Wars fans are a lot more aware of the mistreatment of fans by a lot of these studios in Hollywood and by these ideologues in Hollywood. So, I know I'm ranting here about multiple different things, but it all comes together. It all ties in together to the simple fact that Lucasfilm has made a giant matzo ball mess of the Star Wars franchise. It's FUBAR now. If you don't know what FUBAR means, go watch Saving Private Ryan, and you'll get your answer. All right? And when you do, it'll make sense. All right? Disney Star Wars is a total mess. All right? It's been ruined beyond all recognition. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what a massive disaster The Rise of Skywalker is going to be. And it will be. And so, I'm feeling very somber. Very, very somber tonight. I'm not enraged. I'm not, all hyped up. And I'm not all hot under the collar like I am sometimes on here. No, I'm resigned to the fate of Star Wars, that it's pretty much dead now. Although I am optimistic that in the future it will be revived. Maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years. Might take that long for the pile of ashes to finally, disperse and something new can grow out of the whatever. I don't know what kind of analogy I'm trying to make. All right. I'm confusing myself now. I'm rambling too long. So I'm going to cut it here. All right. Before I say something that really doesn't make any sense. All right. Stay tuned, because I am going to document my experience at watching The Rise of Skywalker at the midnight session. Hopefully I can stay awake through the movie, because isn't it close to like 3 hours long? I think so. So I'll hop myself up on some coffee beforehand, and yeah, try and make it through. And yeah, it's going to be epically bad, folks. It's going to be terrible. And yeah, and I'm going to be there to witness it. All right. I'll leave it there. Stay tuned. Please sub. All right. Please sub. Please like. Please share. And yeah, stay tuned to see how bad it really is. See yous.